Hello, everybody. It's your girl SOBJ back in the house. Okay, today I want to talk to you about something very sensitive. Okay, so I'm gonna warn you. A lot of people have probably not had me talk about sex before, and so this video is about sex. Okay, matured sex, relationship sex. So if you think you're too young to be hearing this, please delete this video and then pass it on to somebody as young as yourself. But if you think your mind is matured enough, listen on. You might want to listen to this and learn something. So recently I was talking to a friend of mine who had been suffering from dealing with a cheating husband, and she had been open to talk to somebody who would understand the reason why she's choosing a marriage as against leaving the guy like everybody else had been advising her. You see, back in the days when I was a little bit younger and less knowledgeable, I would say, you know what, you don't need a cheating husband, just move on. But now I ask questions before I judge, and I wouldn't want to, talk about her situation. I would just want to generalize. And what I know now is that, you see, there is a natural, or let me say a biological reason for men to have sex often. I would even say more often than the average woman needs to have sex, because there is a buildup of sperm in their scrotum, and this needs to be dislodged from time to time. The cells of the scrotum needs to be in constant functional condition to be able to dislodge sperms, and that happens when they release, ejaculate, call it whatever, come. And the lack of sex can actually compel to the problems of a man. It makes them less relaxed, it makes them lose concentration, it makes them aggravated, it makes them develop high blood pressure, believe me. And the worst of it is, anytime from above 40, they are at a very high risk of developing prostate cancer. That's a fact. That's biologically proven, it's been medically proven, and that's the fact. So if you are above 40 and your man is above 40 as well, and he's not having constant sex, then you are actually at a risk of having a husband that will suffer one of those symptoms is and eventually probably develop a cancer. And so, understanding that men need to dislodge constantly changes my perspective about why men, or some men, cheat, why they are about sex. And then you hear them say, sometimes this sex is like sports to men, and it doesn't mean they love the person, it's just because the person is available and they need to dislodge. I started believing that when I started reading about the situation surrounding the importance of them dislodging. Okay, so you have some men that are now torn between technically deciding going against their moral responsibility and fulfilling their biological call. Okay, I would understand if a man has to, for one reason or the other, choose somewhere else apart from their partner to dislodge with, only in some cases. Take, for example, this lockdown. If you find yourself in Africa or Asia or America, but anywhere apart from where your partner is, and you're going to be stuck there for months, and you're a man, I think you're in more trouble than an average woman. I would say it's okay for you to say, you know what, I'm going to hold on and, keep it all full till I get to my woman. But this is you putting yourself in a risk position, because apart from that, it is medically not good for you to keep storing what you store down there, it is also psychologically damaging. But it doesn't mean that you have to cheat or find somebody to help you with that, because there are other ways of helping yourselves. And so, if you have to cheat, then it's because you choose the easy way out. Easy way out because then you did not do enough to control your struggle to keep your oath or promise to the other person. But let's say, okay, you're weak at that and you'd even do that. I think I would understand to an extent, provided you understand if I do the same thing to you in the same situation. So, and that's the difference between me and a lot of other people. Because just like I have said that it is medically necessary for men to dislodge, it has also been proven that women, right from 36 years of age till about 56, and if you have a high libido, it could still go on till about 60, are also at a medical risk if they do not have sex continuously. The only thing is, our own problems would only be seen in our attitudes. Our sexual frustrations would only come out in our attitudes, and in some cases, some people can develop high blood pressure because of lack of sex, and this is the truth. Okay, but that is not to be compared to men that would probably develop prostate cancer because of not being dislodging continuously, and there is a pileup of unhealthy sperms in their scrotums. Does that make it easier for us as women to go without sex for a long time? I'll say yes. Does that mean women don't cheat as much as men? No. Because just like the men could be weak in choosing their moral standard, so do we have women who, because of their greediness, will just opt out at every reason to dig another man. So what I'm saying in essence is, if you're not in the situation and you have a cheating friend or a friend that has a cheating partner, if you do not understand the circumstances of the person cheating, whether it's a man or a woman, I think you cannot adequately advise what to do in that situation. In my case, I wouldn't advise anybody to leave their partners, because I do not know the reason why your man stepped out on you or the reason why your woman stepped out on you. But then there is the question of people that are living together, not leaving each other, still being in the same environment with each other, but then the partners step out on one another, or one partner steps out on the other one. Then I say, do you know you can be with somebody and still feel lonely? You can be living, sleeping, waking up, eating, reading, shitting, bathing with somebody in the same house, and you still feel lonely. Maybe not physically lonely, maybe not physically distant, but emotionally. And for most women, sex is very emotional. It goes beyond physical. Whereas for the men, it's firstly physical and then the emotions creep in. So, in that situation, if you have a partner that is emotionally distant from you, making you physically distant yourself from your partner, then you can create a situation where the man in the situation steps out. And then you have a problem, because if you do not solve the underlying problems why you both are distancing yourself from one another in a relationship, then you will not be able to solve a cheating partner's problem. That's another scenario. But then you have the scenario of incompatibility of libidos. So where you have a partner that has a very high libido compared to yours, whether man or woman, in order to satisfy their cravings for sex, one of the partners, the one with the higher libido, is probably going to step out on you if you cannot do what it needs to keep them in check or keep them satisfied. Do you have to break your family or your relationship because of this? I'll say no. You see, at this age, in this present time, there are a lot of things you can do to actually help your situation. But you have to be willing, you have to be ready, and you have to do it with love and with open heart and arms. So if your problem is a libido problem, then you need to be ready to talk about it and identify where the problem lies and deal with it together as partners. Because you see, life is short. If nothing has taught us about how short life is, look at the present pandemic, then you will understand that life is short. And if you understand what I mean by life is short, and you know that the only reason why we live is to be able to live blissfully, then you will know that every second you live is important and you shouldn't waste any second in your life. And so, living an unhappy life because one partner is not satisfied is not worth it at all. No matter what it takes, if your relationship is important to you, if you say you love your partner, then you will be ready to talk about it. Because if you do not, there is some other guy out there, and there is another girl out there, in fact, a lot of them, that will be ready to help your partner. And this is something we all need to maturely think about. Sex shouldn't be the taboo that we Africans especially have made it to become. We shouldn't let religion, especially this foreign religion, turn us all into zombies and what we are not. Because take away religion, take away the pressure that you feel from people around you. Look inside yourself. Most of the time, we always have the answers to our problems, be it a sexual problem, be it a financial problem, be it whatever problems that is. So if you want to shed all of those barriers and obstacles clouding your judgment and follow your heart, you would know that sex actually shouldn't be an issue. Because the most important thing is bliss. Figure out what gives you bliss and make sure you hold on to it. If your partner is cheating, figure out why. If it's because of his greed and lack of moral responsibility, deal with that. If you can accept it, fine. If you cannot accept it, move on. There is no reason to die in distress because of a cheating partner. If it is something you can do something about, deal with it. If his situation or our situation is circumstantial, be it medical, be it psychological, deal with it. If you cannot deal with it, move on. And to all of you people advising other people to leave their partners because they cheat, stop. Because no circumstance, no situation is the same. Your friend might not be telling you the whole story. So stop telling people to leave their partners. Deal with your personal problems in a manner that is peculiar to your relationship. Wish you all the best. Love from Rotterdam. SOBJ saying goodbye. Thank you for listening.